just does that. He'll just sneak up. And Vink and I are here measuring hand size, and Ad just brings it in hot. Hey, man. 3-1, boys. We're gonna start that off right there. We're gonna start it off with 3-1.
No, we're gonna start. We're gonna start it off with
Jesus.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! 3-1. I mean, okay. Let's be realist here, and I'm the first person to be real on something I've said. After Dak Prescott going down week 1, did I ever think we were gonna end up somehow being week 1 against the Bucks? Dak goes down, hurts his thumb, possibly out 6 to 8 weeks. I'm almost on like suicide watch.
So you're 0-1 after that game.
We're 0-1 out of that game. I'm like looking at the schedule. I'm like, okay, if Cooper Rush can win 2 games, crack me if you got him. And if you're joining us right now, crack me if you got him. That's what we like to do. I was looking at the schedule saying, okay, if Cooper Rush is going to play the next 6 games, if he can win 2 games, it's maybe salvageable. And I said the 2 games he had to win was New York Giants, Washington Commanders, which he has now won. And then you have that beauty bonus game.
The bonus game, yeah.
The bonus game with the Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah.
Puts us in a little bit of a predicament going against the Los Angeles Rams.
So I think if Dak is not 100%, it's one of those games where you kind of maybe give him another week, and because you got that bonus game. But
I mean,
it's
scary.
No.
Scary.
What I think is nice is it gives us the cushion of not having to rush him back. What's the reason?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. Who would have thought coming out of week 1 that we would have been 3-1?
No one.
No.
Dude, the day after that Dak went down, I posted on the Instagram, by the way, if you're on Instagram, at Cowboys Scan Fan, bomb ass memes, bomb ass posts. But
Very good post.
I posted the day after that Tampa Bay Sunday night game, and I asked people to predict the record Cooper Rush was going to have. And a lot of people were very, very, very...
Did you see any 3-1, 4-1, 5-1?
I mean, there was a couple, but I would say the predominant outlook was we would be lucky to win
below 500.
Below 500.
Are you guys? You guys can see the screen up there,
Yeah, we
like
can see
Alex
the
has
screen,
asked.
yeah.
Okay, we just want to make sure.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, Cowboys. Before you get into
Shit,
stats,
them boys is having the time of their lives.
are you able to get the NFC East standings up here? Because yeah, Cowboys won and it's all fine and dandy, but our division foes, like we got to talk about our division foes a little bit.
So Eagles are 4-0 now. Giants 3-1. Cowboys 3-1.
There it is, right there. The NFC Beast is back. You possibly at this rate you're gonna have 2 teams. Maybe even 3 teams making the playoffs.
Well, look at the Eagles' points for. They are a fucking league ahead of everyone else putting points on the board, man.
They're a great team. What's the Eagles' upcoming schedule? I can look that up, actually.
Yeah, get that. I know we play them week 6. I'm not sure who they play next week. We got the Rams coming up, which is probably our toughest matchup. The Bengals obviously look tough. They didn't play tough. This defense that we have right now is pretty much what we got to lean on.
So we got Eagles at the Cardinals next week. They're gonna win that game.
Then boys at fucking Eagles.
Boys at Eagles.
So that
Sunday, October 16th.
I'm hoping that's kind of the fight for the champion or for the division lead right there.
And then it looks like they have their bye the week after, and then they host the Steelers.
So winnable games.
And then at Texans and Commanders.
So they have a very, very favorable schedule in the next 5 weeks.
They really do. Yeah, they go Cardinals, Cowboys, that's going to be a tough game.
I hope.
Dak will be back.
Dak will be back full-fledged.
Speaking of Dak, Barry Grant Jr. is in the house saying,
What up, Barry?
All Even Podcast with Barry Grant Jr. Nothing is better. There's nothing better than Rush, get that yayo playing well, Dallas winning, Diggs shutting down the world, and me whooping Ant's ass.
Oh, God. I
fantasy.
haven't looked.
Life is wonderful.
I haven't. We're playing, Barry and I, 3-0. We're both 3-0 playing in the CFFL.
True number 1.
I didn't look, and that does not make me want to look. Damn it.
And then we have who do you think is going to win, Cowboys or Rams? Well, we'll get to that. Let's talk a little bit about today's game.
Yeah. So, like we said,
What are you watching?
What?
Hot Rod too much?
What?
What
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
So the division right now is super tight. You got the Eagles 4-0, the Cowboys and Giants 3-1, and then the Commanders who suck at 1-3. That's crazy. So let's get back into this game. Coming into this game, we kind of expected it to be a defensive matchup. Did I expect the Commanders to be shut down for 10 points? No, not really. I think holding any NFL team to only 10 points is a pretty big accomplishment. In today's NFL, 10 points is hard to score. Like you can almost score two, 3 touchdowns without even trying, it looks like.
Carson.
AJ unplugged himself.
Hang on. There we go. I'm back, baby. Carson Wentz had a quality two first games, throwing a lot of yards, a lot of TDs.
I got to cut you out here 1 sec. Am I stupid to think that the morning game was going to get a less?
Hey,
I was like, 10 a.m. Like,
it's like candy.
10 a.m. should be...
I just like that after, like, AJ has a hat and glasses on when he's dead sober, and then when he gets just chide, he just fucking, boom. Look at me, world.
Okay, give us your stats
Okay,
there.
let's hear it, stat boy.
Let's get it, Vape 10
No.
boy.
I just mean to say that Carson Wentz went off his first 2 weeks, and
Yep.
now his last 2 weeks.
Well, let's see. Let's get those stats up. I don't even know what he did today.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were.
Give me a second. No. I know this because he's on my.
No, I
fantasy
just mean
team.
like just have the stats for today's game up.
So while
Oh.
he's doing that, Lila B wants to know, did anyone win the shirts today?
No shirts won. So anyone listening, we usually, if you can get us a score prediction prior to the game, we will give someone a T-shirt. Matt Vink is a
I got it.
perfect.
Got it last week.
He got it last week.
You'd have to be a
Well,
sick.
look.
You'd have to be a sick fuck to guess 25-10.
Anyone that guesses 25-10, like
That
25,
You know Daimler's
are
on their
weird.
top watch list.
25,
Anybody
yeah,
who's guessed that.
25 is not a very.
I don't know.
common
Just
score.
fucking mark down 25-10. I don't give a fuck. Okay. Quit asking me. And get out there and do your goddamn job. It's what we're paying you for.
Anyone that's tuning in for the first time.
Am I right? Look at these guys.
Anyone tuning in for the first time, no, we didn't just find him on the street. He's here the whole game. And if you're just listening and you want to see how fucking wasted Alex looks right now, you need to head to the YouTube, which is at Cowboys Can Fan podcast on YouTube. You got it. You got to see. I know I have some squinty eyes, but AJ's looking good. He's feeling the big win.
Looking tough.
Okay.
Looking tough.
Carson Wentz. Let's get into the Carson Wentz stats here. They let Carson Wentz throw 42 times, which is scary. He went 25 for 42, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 ints. And we know the biggest one of the game was that one before halftime from Trevon Diggs. But you can't say anything against Not So Bland.
No.
Deron Bland with our 5th round draft pick this year. You can't say anything about that. His first interception in the NFL. Love to see it.
Has he played much the first 4 weeks? Or?
No. So I'm pretty sure Jordan Lewis went down earlier in the game, which kind of forced Deron Bland into the lineup. And he came out and he had a pretty nice pass breakup, and then he had the interception. So great showing for his first NFL action.
It was nice to see him come in and kind of eat away at the clock with that interception. That's what
We needed it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're in the podcast land right now, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, give us a rating. It helps us out. We're trying to grow this shit. And the only way we can grow it is with fans like you guys listening.
And we're the official Dallas Cowboys podcast on the Landry hat. I was gonna say
Whoa!
like Alex. Fuck me in the.
I can't say it. I'm banned.
You're banned.
He's banned from saying
Maybe I'll just be the one that
No.
shouts it out.
Because I tried to make a joke, but it
So
didn't
let's
work that way.
One thing I'm curious about. Sorry.
no,
Okay,
let's
yeah. One
chime
thing
in.
I'm curious
chime in.
about is like the. What the fuck?
Did AJ just fall asleep?
Okay. One thing I'm curious about. With the.
We're feeling good. We're feeling good. On
Am I right? Look at these guys.
Like you always don't think you have an accent. I'm curious if the American listeners think that we sound like.
Oh
Canadians.
yeah,
Oh, good call.
100%. 100% we sound Canadian.
Honestly, I think our accent, quote unquote, is very.
you are not speaking on our accent.
No. Trust me. I know a little bit.
Okay, let's hear it.
We are definitely they know where we are from, but it's very bland. There's not like a
Duran?
there's not like a
Good callback. Good
twang
callback,
or anything.
Alex.
There's not like a twang to anything.
Yeah, we just monotone.
It's a
Yeah.
very boring accent, yeah. Because
It's
even
fine.
the,
It's
like,
very
the
straight,
Texas
it's
accent,
generic.
We
we
sound
have
generic.
Kilo C saying next man up has been working. Who else can say that right now?
Not much, man. And this goes back to the fact of this wasn't really what we were going to talk about, but Kilo brings up a good point. It does show that the front office is very comfortable with who they're drafting, and everyone gets all butthurt. And I'm one of the guys where we don't go out and sign free agents. We haven't done that. The Cowboys are known as a team that builds through the draft, and that's spearheaded by Will McClay. Like Will McClay, since he's come to the team, the guy just keeps knocking these draft picks out of the park. And Kilo brings up that's a great point.
We also have HCUC, Jose Ultra Cowboy, saying, even with my Vanderdick negativity, I predicted 24-10 Cowboys. I was close. And Gallup was huge, like Rosie McDonald at a buffet. I think he was trying to say Rosie O'Donnell.
This guy rules. Man.
That's pretty
But
funny.
Gallup, like, holy cow, Michael Gallup.
Changes then this is the thing here. Dak Prescott in the lineup with Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown is a lot different than him without.
Jameson.
Well, Gallup only had 2 receptions, 24 yards, and a tuggy.
What about those 2 huge PIs?
Exactly.
Massive.
Yeah.
Those 2 PIs are huge. And sure, a pass interference call doesn't show up on the stat sheet for the guy, but those 2 plays were at critical points where the game was almost tied, and it extended the drive 2 touchdowns. So Michael Gallup's, I love having Michael Gallup back.
So they must have believed in him as being a legit number 2 when they
Kept him. Signed him.
They moved away from Amari Cooper.
No, the
They-
plan always was that.
The thing with Amari Cooper, and it's on record with the Cowboys, is they just weren't comfortable paying anyone that kind of dough. And they felt, like you just said, Vink, that they could still get the same type of production from the offense with a Michael Gallup and a CeeDee Lamb. And then, well, now you have the emergence of Noah Brown.
Mhm.
So obviously, this is the thing with fans. We're very snap judgment. We're not at every practice. We're not the coaches.
CD's looking like a legit number 1.
CD
now,
after, a couple shaky games, now he's got a little repertoire with Cooper Rush. CeeDee Lamb looked like a number 1 today. I would have liked to see him break that century mark, but
Yep.
he kind of disappeared in the middle of the game a
that
little bit.
touchdown looked a little bit like a Stephon Diggs. Just one of those explosive receivers.
Yeah. And
Made the cornerback bite and wide open.
wide the
walked
fuck
it.
open.
I
But
thought
that's not necessarily, sorry, Alex, that's not necessarily an attribute to CeeDee Lamb disappearing. It could also just be how Cooper Rush was playing.
Yep.
A couple factors
yeah.
in there, right?
Oh, for sure. Like I said, it goes back to us. We're watching a TV broadcast of this shit. We don't see the full field. It's easy to be like, oh, CD hasn't had the ball in 2 quarters, right? But you don't know what's happened on the field. You don't see the plays develop. It's kind of tough to look back and see. If you told me going into this game, CeeDee Lamb was going to be 97 yards for 6 catches and a touchdown, I would be happy.
I kind of want to focus more. Like, I'm happy that the Cowboys are able to put points on the board. We want to see that. That's how you win a football game. But the defense has been fucking stellar.
The defense is a top. After this game, they were top 9 going into the game. They got to be top 5. But let's pump the brakes a little
Okay.
bit.
It's been the Giants and the Commanders.
The last 2 games have been the Giants and the Commanders. Sure,
That's why next week is so exciting, man.
next
You
week
see,
against the Rams,
see how they deal with Cup.
that's a team.
A test.
That's a test next week. And I don't
Higbee
denounce
can be a problem too.
the Rams
Allen
have a great.
Robinson, dude, they got some playmakers.
They got playmakers. So I don't want to denounce anything the defense has done, but the next 2 weeks, even we could say we're going Rams Eagles next 2 weeks.
Let me just ask you then.
Ask me. Look into my eyes and ask
general
me.
question for both of those 2 studs on the fucking couch over there.
Try to look at the way your eyes are going. You
No,
can
no.
probably look at both of us at the same time.
Can I? All right.
Sorry.
Let me
Sorry.
ask.
Let's hear it.
Uh,
hear it.
Can you
What
throw
would
me
you?
a dude?
Yeah. After
oh,
this
sorry.
question, and that's the time you have to think about it. What going into the Commanders game, who would you have considered on that same level of consideration. Like, oh, we
As
need
the
to look-
Rams?
Yeah. So hang on, let me toss my. I
Toss
know
it.
you're ready to
I'm
go.
already
off.
jumping.
Well, go off, King. Go off.
Well, you asked. Okay, I already know what you're saying. Who was I scared of from the Rams that possibly is on the same level as the Commanders? The Commanders don't have a bad 3 wide receivers. The Commanders' top 3 wide receivers are Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin,
And Dotson, that rookie.
and Dotson, Jahan Dotson. That is not a bad trio of wide receivers.
It's above average for sure.
That's 100% above average, and we kept those guys. Crack them if you got them.
Crack me if you got him. Sorry.
Yeah.
We
You're like
held
sizzling
those.
there.
We held those guys
Sizzle if
to.
you got him.
Let's see, AJ, go to the Commanders' stats here.
155.
No, but I
yards.
want to see between those 3 guys.
Oh,
So we're looking right now at the top 3 wide receivers, and I'm gonna say Dotson, Samuel, and McLaurin. McLaurin had fucking 15 yards.
Two catches for 15 yards.
That's shit. Curtis
and he's
Samuel,
an elite receiver in the league.
Curtis Samuel, 38 yards. Dotson, 43. So we kept them. Those top 3 wide receivers of the wide receiver 1,
they're
2,
under
and
100
3,
yards
They're under
combined.
100. They're under 100 yards.
altogether.
Combined, all 3.
Combined.
And Dotson did get a touchdown though.
Still, I don't care. That's okay.
It's gonna
It's
happen.
gonna, yeah, it's gonna.
But you asked like comparable.
1 touchdown of the 3.
So this goes back to the Bengals game. The Bengals have Higgins, Boyd, and Jamar Chase. We fucking shut them down too. So maybe our defense is willing to take up this battle against the Rams. The Rams have a great trio of wide receivers, but we've also
but dude,
held.
the Bengals arguably even better. That's a dangerous 3.
Yeah, exactly. Bengals have arguably a better wide receiving core and a very solid quarterback. Although we are playing against the reigning Super Bowl champions when we're next week. It is Cooper Kupp is the one that we really have to worry about out of all of those.
I think
because
Diggs is up for it.
Diggs he won't be on him all game.
No,
he moves around too much.
So
right?
Diggs is your right cornerback, and Anthony Brown's your left. So they'll line up whoever's wide. So you'll get times they'll shift Diggs inside, but very rare. The Cowboys run a base defense. Obviously, he will have matchups against Cooper Kupp, but like you said, Cooper Kupp lines up in so many different spots, and that's why he's so fucking deadly.
Lieutenant Dan!
Lieutenant
That's the
Dan.
problem. But back to this game.
Lieutenant Dan! Lieutenant Dan.
If we had to look at any of the 3 phases of the Cowboys team, defense, offense, special teams, I would say the win goes to the defense.
Yep.
Oh, easily.
Because there was some drives with the Cowboys offense. It was like, what the fuck are we doing? Right? Like there was those head scratchers. I would say probably in the second quarter, there was like a couple. What are we trying to do? Like what we established the run a little bit at the start. Now we're going away from it.
But the
and
defense was good enough that they just needed to make those couple big plays.
they masked it. The defense
And
masked
then
the
that was
offensive
enough.
issues.
That was enough. Like the touchdown to Gallup.
You guys can see the
Can you see the screen?
team
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah, let's AJ read off what you want. Let's hear
Okay.
your narrative of this, B.
I just think that the Cowboys definitely did not play a very strong offensive game. They lost out in total yards and rushing yards per average, or total, maybe not per average, but I think so as well. And yards per, they did come out in yards per play, so that was nice. But it was a very low 4.8 to 4.2 game, so super defensive.
We only had 62 rushing yards total. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
Yeah,
if
and
you
it's 80 less than Washington.
well, you look at our offense
Yeah.
puts up 25
Terrible.
points, so we stop the Commanders to only have 10 points. Our offense, although we still put in the tutties today, if our offense is producing 25% better, it would be hard for anybody to have anything bad to say about this team coming through, not only dominating our division, but also being a strong contender for the
What are
Super
you
Bowl.
doing to get us 25%?
bringing Dak
better.
back.
Bringing Dak back.
So
Oh,
this
to-
this actually
offense.
this
Okay,
actually
okay.
segue into the question I'm going to ask
Yeah.
you guys. If do we bring Dak back next week?
No.
Man, that's a tough one. I have to.
Do we
say-
bring Dak back next week?
You know what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If he's
Alex.
healthy, yes.
Go
All
ahead,
I-
Alex.
I have
That's
to
it.
say.
All it comes under is if he's healthy, yes. That's it.
Hey,
That's
I
it.
like Matty V's. I like Matty V's confidence, and unbiased, determined answer there.
No, it's just
Even though
if
he's
he's
wearing a Cowboys
healthy.
can fan
Yes, if he's 80% healthy, there's
rush
a
him.
debate. Yeah, there's a debate.
Okay. And I'm in that boot, and I think anything less than 100%, this guy's ready to throw the ball. Put him on. Just keep running what we have. Because a loss is a loss. So what? We've been given kind of
Couple freebies.
It feels
But they
like.
could win the game without him too, for sure.
No, I
That's the
don't.
thing is the defense is that good that
I just there's
you,
no.
you could sit him out and you still have a chance to win the game. But
So-
if he's 100%, it's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy. Put Dak out.
So you guys have both good arguments. We're putting Dak in. I don't give a fuck. I'm sick and tired of watching this redhead fuck play. Stick Dak in there. He's ready
Even
to
at
go.
80% health.
Yeah.
Really?
What fucking player right now in the NFL is at 100%?
No, but
None of them.
Do you?
If he can grip a football and he can throw it, if there's no chance that he can re-injure his thumb, like if that thumb can grab a
That's
football
true.
and
The
throw it,
thumb injury is.
that's the only thing I care about. If he can
Yeah.
grip a football and he can sit there and throw a football 30 times in a row without any setback, you play the fucking guy.
So where I was going to go with it. So
Yeah, play him.
Before I was going to say it, comment of the night by Ultra Cowboy. Cowboys defense be wilding like Antonio Brown at a pool.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
But
Hey, AJ, toss me one, son.
I think that I would rather have Dak start against the Rams just to get that first game back out of his system so that when we play the Eagles, he has one game under his belt. I didn't get it. But what I don't want to happen is Dak to come back against the Eagles.
That's a
and
good point.
It's just too hard to be that division rival. Like it's just too much. I would rather them play.
It's not just a division rival. It's like
It's
have
the
to.
the Eagles are
They're
like
top
the
team right now.
Yeah, they're the ones that everybody's like, oh, they're gonna win the fucking Super Bowl.
So okay. So obviously this is how it goes. We want Dak to be back to be able to get a game before we play the Eagles. But like at the same time, I can see where everyone's saying like if Dak goes in and re-hurts himself.
Oh, here.
So it is nice. Like the thumb part of it is way better than a leg injury.
A knee?
Yeah, like something like that could be just a tragic re-injury, bring back too early. But you did see with Russell Wilson last year, he came back early with a hand injury. He fucking sucked all year.
I still think shitty Dak Prescott's still as good as Cooper Rush.
Ultra Cowboy says if Rush beats both Super Bowl teams, it is a wrap for Dak. Dak will rush back for the Rams game. So he's thinking Dak's going to come back for the Rams game because he doesn't want someone like Cooper Rush to beat both of the Super Bowl.
You know how
teams from
Jerry
last
is.
year.
Jerry edges every player in that locker room.
Oh, and then Eric Black 60 says, "Can I get a hell yeah for penalty yards this game?"
Hell yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah.
Hey,
Hell fucking yeah. Hey,
only
you know what?
3 penalties.
You don't get a hell yeah. You get a crack him if you got him.
Crack him, double crack him. Oh
Crack-
my
Crack if you
God.
got him, son.
As Linz and I were, so my wife Lindsay helped me put the wall up yesterday, and she looks around like the walls. There's just so much splatter on the
yeah,
walls
there
from all the beer, like up over the top right there. There's just There's just drink splatter all over
There
the
is,
walls.
yeah. You can see something over there. That's funny.
It's something you don't notice until your
You
wife
don't
comes
notice it
in
yet
and-
until you're told about it. That's
Guess
hilarious.
what? Didn't care until she's like, "Man, you guys got splatter all over this wall." I was like, "What are you guys doing down here?" I'm like, "We're cracking them if we got them."
That's called character building.
And a complete detour. Penalties. Only
Where
4.
is the penalty?
penalty? But
Kilo C says
also
he
a
still
nice
called it.
segue. Penalty.
Where is the penalty? Okay, I'll bring it up. Go for it.
Cowboys only 4.
That's
So
huge.
Kilo had the bold prediction of 2, but I still think he still gets some credit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's he
Because
just
like
said
that
he
was the
still
bold
called it.
prediction, but still, like the prediction was right.
You know what?
Yeah.
If Kilo would have said Cowboys 4 penalties, I would.
Oh yeah, that would have been bold too.
you were too bold. You were too bold, Kilo.
I would have even agreed with that. Like I can't remember the last time we only had 4 penalties. It's fucking mind-boggling.
for 20 yards.
But the Commanders, on the other hand, what did they have for 100 and something?
11 for 136. That's a full football field.
That's
man.
crazy. 11 penalties for 136. See, that's what we're used to as fans. And I mean, that's what we're used to as Cowboys fans. It feels like we always have that over 10 penalties or close fringe 10 penalties. But when they showed the replay of most of the Commanders' penalties, they were, right? Like, I felt like they were. There was a lot of holding calls on passes. There's a couple big PIs. Like the one where they went to CD Lamb and the guys, or maybe it was Michael Gallup. They had him face masked. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's he's saying that's the Gallup effect, or Ultra
is.
Cowboys saying that's the Gallup effect.
oh man, you can't even put into words how much having Michael Gallup back affects his team.
Just try. Hey, just
Stretching
try.
the field.
Oh, he
stretching
stretches the field. He
Well,
stretches the field.
How many of those penalty yards? Someone out there knows it, but were contributed to Michael Gallup.
I would say
slowed myself down.
there was
for
two.
the sake of the podcast.
We're gonna say 52 yards.
Yeah.
52 yards.
Yeah.
Because they were 2 deep balls.
One thing that's kind of interesting when
They
you
were
look at
deep
these
balls.
stats, the fourth down efficiency 0 for 0. So they didn't. That's just kind of. It shows they didn't really have to play a panicked game plan. Just
Yeah.
trust the defense, let the offense work.
Gross ass fucking third down efficiency again.
Yeah,
though.
not good.
33%. 33% again. That has been an issue. I'm glad we didn't have to go for it on fourth down, but this third down shit, like this game could have even been a bigger blowout if they're converting third downs, right? They literally only converted 33% of their third downs. I think the league average is usually around like high 40s. So that we're under the league average, and I think in most of our games, our
Yeah, but-
third down conversions has been pretty bad.
And the reason, Ant, though, might be Brett Mayer. He's gone off 4 for 4 field goals today.
Laces out.
That's why
You
we
know?
didn't have good third down conversions.
No, I'm saying that's the reason.
That we're not going for it on
Oh,
fourth
going
down.
for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you put
the
Maher out there.
Back to my point. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't get one chance to really
It's like Dallas is going for it.
today. There was a one time.
That's a fourth down call on that one.
I know.
Look at that. But the longest 53. Good for
That's
him.
nice though. That's like a unstressful way of watching a Dallas Cowboys game.
Brett Maher played for the Cowboys, was cut because he sucked. He's back and he's making the best of his second chance. That's all we can say about that dude.
Hey, listen to this bold.
Well, that's
listen to this
12
bold
points,
prediction.
bro. 12 points.
That's the whole point.
Listen to this bold prediction. Dak, this is from Ultra Cowboy. Dak will be a Buccaneer next year.
He's still under contract with the Cowboys though. So
That's
would they trade him?
Who are we getting?
So
back?
we would trade Dak to the Buck. And the only way I would ever get
That
rid of
sounds
Dak,
Jerry
the
Jones.
only way I'd ever get rid of Dak is if somehow it's still going to count against the cap, so we don't save anything. The only way not having Dak Prescott as our quarterback and having Cooper Rush as our quarterback is if we never actually signed him to his big deal, and then we had this extra $42 million a year to spend, which we don't, right? You do think about it like, oh man, imagine we didn't pay this much money for a quarterback.
No, you got to pay a quarterback.
You have to pay a quarterback, like without a doubt. But I'm just saying, like, hypothetical situation where we don't pay Dak and we roll with a guy like Cooper Rush, which would never fucking happen.
Fuck, no way.
But then you
please.
now allot Cooper Rush's salary is like $1 million a year, right? So now you allot $40 million a year towards building another part of your team. Is that a way to build a team? No, it's not. 'cause
I
you
also
need a
don't think
quarterback.
I don't think it's a way. I don't even want to see us like draft some hot quarterback rookie next year either. I
Won't happen.
want a rookie quarterback.
They'll draft a rookie quarterback next year.
Well, yes, draft a rookie quarterback, but I don't want to draft and have that rookie quarterback start under Cooper Rush.
No, fuck.
Or
no.
sorry,
They're-
learn under Cooper
Still,
Rush.
let's rewind.
That's never happened.
There is in no realm of the world or any possible multi-dimensional universe that Cooper Rush starts for the Dallas Cowboys when Dak Prescott is fully healthy. It's just not fucking happening. Anyone that thinks it's happening, it's just not happening.
Even if they trade into the Buccaneers.
Anth just willed that scenario into existence because when Anth says something's not going to happen, it'll
the
happen.
opposite happens.
So we're gonna clip this in 2 weeks from now where Anth's like, "There's just no," and here we are.
So you're telling me Cooper Rush is going to play over Dak Prescott?
No, I'm just saying.
No, it's not happening. No, it's just not happening. I don't
you-
give a fuck how opposite I am with shit.
Yeah.
There's just zero fucking chance of Cooper Rush starting over Dak
That's
Prescott.
what I believed until you started to be so confident on that.
I'm going to say this out loud. Anyone that doesn't think that, I just can't even. I don't think I could talk to in an actual
Everything Cooper Rush
sitting
can do-
situation.
Dak can do better. That's.
Everything Rush can do, Dak can
You do better. Anything.
But it's
Dak
true.
can do everything
So
better.
it's
than
true.
Rush.
The other Bessie brother said, "Ad's got a point."
About what? That I'm just bad at calling shit?
Yes.
Well,
No,
yeah.
every time you call something,
It's wrong.
It's the it's the opposite. So I'm not saying I don't agree with you. I'm just saying now that you've put it out into existence,
Hey, I
We
also
gotta
bet,
worry. We gotta worry.
I also bet $500 on the Cowboys to win today. So
You're a liar.
no, I
What?
didn't. No,
Oh,
I didn't. I
what?
wish.
You're a liar.
I lied. I lied to redeem my qualities.
Oh, and Kilo says that's the first third down seriousness all day that he got from you.
I didn't get, and that's the one thing I didn't feel like any third down was actually that detrimental in this game. AJ
Yeah,
still,
there wasn't the most
AJ's
the
dying
most
over
important third down of the game.
No,
I
there
didn't hear
wasn't.
it once.
They really, because I never
It
felt like
was a slow and steady win by the Cowboys.
it was a slow and steady win. Usually I say that probably at least 6-7 times a game.
Do we
Oh, yeah,
want to go
easily.
on? Should I get another crack on myself? or-
Yeah, we're going
Okay,
on.
Okay.
We're talking. I'm a little worried about you at the helm of bringing this party on the ride, but we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. We'll figure stuff out. Micah,
I'll have
Micah,
one more too, Alex, please.
hey, Micah Parsons, second game in a row with no sacks.
Yeah, how do we feel?
I know.
Do we feel like we were pumping him up too much?
I don't care. Defense.
Actually, Alex, I can grab it.
Defense looks good.
Matt doesn't trust Alex to toss it to him. It's going to come at him without him even looking. Whoa,
We got it.
CD Lamb catch. From
I've had
Ant.
too much chemistry with Ant to not make that catch.
to not make that
That
throw.
throw and catch.
To not make that throw. Do you do you think that one
Crack him if you got
Crack
him.
him if you got
son.
Got him.
I think what we're seeing is a lot of teams are knowing how serious of a player Micah Parsons is, and they're making sure that they're watching him over everybody else, and it's allowing
They're
other
game
players
planning.
to come through and to make dominating plays. So
Hey,
I still think Micah Parsons is actually doing
Fuck yeah, he is.
a solid
Yeah.
job out
From
there.
what from
Fowler
what I
Jr. today had a great game.
look, from what I see, I would think that like this has been the concept the entire time. We're gonna keep using this mammoth of a DE, LOL,
Defense!
ROLB. You know what I mean?
We do.
And
Do we know?
I'm
No,
just
no.
agreeing.
So
I'm
honestly,
saying we
okay,
keep using.
I think Micah Parsons has almost become like an offensive lineman in the way that if you don't hear their name all game, it's a good thing.
Oh, definitely. He's always
Yeah.
impacting the game.
I think he's on steroids.
Hey, let's check out this. Can we watch this clip from Dallas Cowboys? AJ, maybe find it that it's not posted from the Dallas Cowboys. The Gallup touchdown.
oh yeah,
Or just don't make
Oh,
it.
post game Locker speech. Let's see it.
Oh God.
Let's get it. They're not gonna flag us for this.
Outstanding. Zach, what time is it?
Let's get full
All right,
screen
hey,
on this shit.
you got- Frankly, man, you just did exactly what you said you're going to do. Excellent, complimentary football. Outstanding. Zach, what time is it? It's only 3:15.
They're stoked that it's still early. They're going partying. There's Donovan Wilson.
All right, hey,
That's funny. What
That's so
time is
sweet.
it?
just did exactly.
It's 3:15.
3:15, dude. They're gonna fucking rip up the
Zach,
town.
what time is it? It's only 3:15.
Zach Martin.
Dude, how and how much did your heart sink when you saw Zach Martin?
Zach Martin going down. I was when he started limping, that's one of the guys. It's like,
right away's on the review though, like you could tell it wasn't anything too serious.
oh yeah, and
but-
he
Yeah.
walked it off. But that Zach Martin's one of those dudes that you just cannot lose. He's one of those, like Tyron Smith. Sure, he used to be that guy, but Tyron Smith in the last 3 or 4 years has missed time, and
Hey.
we've been okay with
Hey,
him.
our boy Blogging with the Boys is on.
Am I
He's
wild
saying
to
what's
think?
up, hello gentlemen.
Am I wild to think that like the tackle position you
Paul?
Yeah.
What up, Paul? How's it going, buddy? All the way from Glasgow.
How about them Cowboys, Paul?
get a call number?
Oh, I haven't put it up. I could put up a call.
Yeah, why haven't you? That seems like something that should just be up in post game stuff. Hey,
And-
Paul, we're gonna put a Zoom number up if you want to call in.
The
Go ahead, Alex. Sorry, we're just cutting you off. I didn't know you were talking. Sorry.
no, I forgot now.
Okay, well, get up that Gallup touchdown
Right here.
right here. NFL and ESPN possibly could flag us, but we're gonna go for it. Ooh, is this gonna flag us? Don't play it too much.
Yeah.
Are they gonna flag us?
Switch it off. Switch it off.
Michael Gallup, though, what a touchdown! And you got to give Cooper Rush credit. That was a great throw by Cooper Rush, and he rolled out nicely. So
Yeah.
the protection broke down. he rolled out and he threw an absolute fucking dart. So you can't, I mean, Michael Gallup, it's great to see you get a touchdown, but that play was made by Cooper Rush. Granted, Alex pointed it out during the stream, Gallup was on a slant route, saw that Cooper Rush was rolling out, and then completely changed his route.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. This is what you want to see in in an offense is this type of ability to improvise, right? So Cooper Rush has to rush out, and it just so happened that fucking Gallup was there to. It could have been anyone, I'm sure,
to scoop it up.
Yeah,
but Gallup did reroute himself. He was moving in, and then he saw Rush kind of scrambling to the right, and he broke to the corner of the end zone. So smart play, especially looking back. I don't know if he was on much of a snap count, to be honest. I think
no.
I think Michael Gallup played most of the game, and he had an impact. He had a couple big PI plays against him, and he had a touchdown. So I think that helps Cowboys Nation, knowing that we have some reinforcements coming at the wide receiver position.
Okay, so the number is up in the description. So Paul, go ahead and
anyone that wants to call in, there is a number in the description. Go ahead and zoom us in.
You'll have to reload it though.
You'll have to reload the live stream or this episode here right now. But go ahead and refresh your browser and you will see that number and you will be able to call in. Talking points.
I'm gonna get snap count up.
Fowler Jr., player of the game on defense, in my opinion. Trevon Diggs, we got to talk about that Diggs interception. Him looking like he went full wide receiver action. Like, no, nothing over there. Just doing this myself.
Okay, so sorry. Serrato's saying for all the Dak haters that think Rush is responsible for the last 3 wins, then why did Maher score more points than him in the last 3 games?
Truth.
So it's backing what you're saying.
100%. Great point.
I missed Ultra Cowboy saying Cowboys are not allowed a 100-yard wide receiver, which is another huge fucking. That's
massive.
Huge stat.
Jerry says, "Shut it down."
Okay, so here comes Paul. We got Paul on the line coming in a second here.
All the way from
so why don't
Glasgow.
you give him an intro?
Okay, so we got Paul from Blogging with the Boys. He runs the. Well, he'll let you know once he's on here. He'll shut himself out. It's got to be late there. Actually, he probably loves the 10 a.m. games, to be honest.
You have no idea.
Yeah. So what time? Hey, what's going on, Paul? What time is it over in Scotland right now?
It's 10 p.m. right now.
Oh,
PM.
so it's kind of like a 10 a.m. For us, it's 10 a.m. It's kind of like a Monday night football or a Sunday night football.
It's full circle. It's hence why we do the World's Team podcast, because Cowboys all over the world, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. So Paul is well, shout yourself out here, man.
Yeah, so I work for Blogging with the Boys. I do a podcast with Meg Murray called The World's Team on every Saturday. You can find it on Spotify and iTunes, and I also do some articles for Blogging with the Boys as well.
It's funny that you call it the World's Team because it is. Like,
it really is.
You have
it really is.
You have 4 dudes in Canada sitting here in a basement.
and we're talking about a team not actually in our own country right now.
Not even close to us. I mean, it's a little closer to
Neither
us than
of us.
you, but like for us to go watch them, you got to travel, and we're all diehard fans. So we're gonna ask you, what did you take from this game? Like, what was the biggest take from this game for you?
I think the biggest take was obviously our whole defense was more of an actual complete unit, more than anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, like our defensive front didn't maybe not necessarily get the numbers in terms of sacks and whatever not, but I'm very going to be interested to see how many QB pressures we got, because that definitely helped out the likes of Trevon Diggs and Anthony Brown for the coverage, because any type of pressure on Carson Wentz, he was pretty much Bambi on legs, pretty much. But yeah, I'm really happy. My main concern though was just I felt as though our offensive line took a bit of a step down compared to the past 2 weeks, especially in our run blocking. So pass protection wise, we were pretty good still. No sacks, very limited pressures, I believe. So there is some positives to take from that. But it was actually good to see Cooper Rush actually getting a full use of weapons as well. So, and not just that to mention as well, that's our 4th game in a row we've managed to keep teams under 20 points.
Crazy.
We seem to be lowering the deficit down and scoring more by each game as well. But I think that may change next week, though, unfortunately, but against the Rams.
Hey, but right now it's a pattern. Like you said, we're keeping teams to under 20 points. We're keeping wide receivers, like single wide receivers, to under 100 yards. This defense has come to play. Like every week, there's other guys that step up. This week it was Deron Bland with that big interception coming in for Jordan Lewis. Everyone's so hyped up about this quarterback controversy. I don't think there's a quarterback controversy. I just think our defense is literally playing lights out.
Yeah, I mean, the whole talk about Cooper Rush should be more ahead of Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, but if you think that, then you're off your blooming head. I'm sorry. But I mean, Cooper Rush is doing his job as he should be. He's filling up the void. He's Kellen Moore's playing a catered offense to suit Cooper Rush right now. I mean, would I play him against the Rams right now? I would say yes, because I don't want that to come back anytime sooner until he's actually been given the full clear by the medical staff.
So that's where Anthony kind of disagrees. He wants him back.
No. I want Dak back, but he has to prove to the team doctors and everyone else. I don't want a thumb version of Tua Tagovailoa going in there. Like I'm
so glad you mentioned that. I'm so glad you mentioned it, because that's my main basis is the whole Tua situation. It's something like when you bring the player back way too soon, it's going to end up making it worse.
And let's be honest, like that's just an exposure of the NFL. That's not like a single team's. Oh my God, I can't believe the Dolphins have a guy who would okay a quarterback to come back. Like, this is probably every single team has the same guy, and he just got caught.
Yeah. The interesting thing with that, and I know this is kind of going off the rails of the game and stuff, it's all third-party people, right? Like, it's not someone that actually works for the Dolphins. They're their own entity, right? But it makes you wonder, like, did someone kick some money?
All it takes is a fucking little side meeting.
We also are talking about a hand compared to a head injury.
Which is way different.
Oh, absolutely.
So the hand is like,
Dak Prescott's hand
what's the risk? What's the risk really of re-injury on a hand?
I'm glad Vink brought this up. Dak's hand is way more important than Tua's head.
It's a fair point.
In my world, I mean, other people might think different. Sure, it sucks. The Dolphins quarterback had 2 concussions in a row. If Dak Prescott can hold a fucking football and throw it 20 times in a row, put the fucker in, man. Let's go.
Yeah, as long as we're not turning it, like as long as the Miami Dolphins are not turning it or turning ourselves into the Miami Sharks from any given Sunday, then we're good.
Yep.
Love the any given Sunday ref,
love the Sharks fucking. I love that reference, man.
Because if anyone's not watched that movie, that medical team were absolutely off their rocket.
No one trusts James Wood.
No one likes.
No one did.
That movie. Huh? What are you talking about here, huh, Coach? Huh?
Shark should have went back in though.
Oh, he should have. Get that $1 million signing bonus.
He needed that signing bonus.
Yeah, needed it.
Who do we have coming up next?
We have the Rams next week. So we basically have. And this is obviously the Rams are our biggest competition in the last 2 weeks, I'd say. The Bengals obviously was a team that I had thought we had no hope in hell winning that game. I'll be completely transparent. That whole week I said, we're going to lose this one. It's okay. We'll go 0-2. We just got to get to 2-2 against the 2 divisional guys. Now, fast forward, we're 3-1. We have the last year's Super Bowl champions on docket. Is it a winnable game with Cooper Rush if he is at quarterback? That's anyone jump in.
It's definitely, I would say this is going to be one of our toughest games to be for sure, but stranger things have happened. I mean,
well, sorry, I got 2 points here. Eric Serrato says points allowed by the Dallas defense in the last 4 games, 19, 17, 16, 10. We're on pace to shut out Rams or the Eagles. So he's saying the trajectory, we're just fucking keep our defense keep shutting people down.
What's Rams? I'll look up Rams points against their first.
So you check that out, Maddie. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up that Ultra Cowboy said is Rush is the second fastest QB to get the ball out, only behind TB12. And then he says, you might not like this, but the Cowboys are better with Rush. Now, again, I'm not gonna, and I don't want Ants to go. I don't want Ants to go into third down mode. But what I'm saying is that whatever we're doing with Cooper Rush right now, we're playing, I don't want to say conservative football because he is airing it out, but they're not playing, Dallas's play calls are not the same with Cooper Rush as Dak Prescott. And I'm not saying that they should be, but Dak Prescott should be getting some more play calls similar to how Cooper Rush.
So you're telling me last year, the guy that broke the Cowboys all-time touchdown passes in a season should be benched behind Cooper fucking Rush.
I didn't say that.
No, I know you're not saying that. Ultra Cowboy always says some good shit in chat, but then he goes on these crazy path. Like he goes on this fucking wild crazy path. And I try to keep it cool. As Adam was reading this off, I'm like, just breathe, Ed. That's okay. I went into full like blackout mode, trying not to just cut you off as bad as I could. Anybody that thinks that Cooper Rush is the better quarterback and is actually winning games over the defense is I just can't see what they're watching over what I'm watching. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Do you mind if I hop in here? Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, on you go, Did. Sorry.
I was just gonna list off the Rams, the points given up in their first 3 games. So they gave up 31 to the Bills, 27 to the Falcons, and then 12 to the Cardinals.
Cooper Rush is scoring 85 touchdowns.
You're talking points.
Talking points.
Well, Jose is rebuttaling because
Quarterback
this
points,
is
or-
what we're doing. He goes, what did Dak do in the second part of the season? What has Dookie Dak done in big games?
What has Cooper Rush done?
He's won the last
Okay,
games.
so so when Dak Prescott beats division rivals, it's the NFC East, he should beat them. Cooper Rush now beats the Giants and the Washington Commanders, and he should start for the team. Like, come on, you can use an argue point against Dak, but you can't. But then you use it for Cooper Rush. It makes zero sense. So because Cooper Rush is now 4-0 as a starter, he should automatically erase every one of Dak Prescott's wins and every accolade that Dak Prescott has when it's clearly a team game, which the defense is helping Cooper Rush win these games. It's just like I feel like I'm in this bizarro world that I just can't even. I could rebuttal as much as I want, and then he'll bring up some weird stat. Well, he had 45. I just can't even argue it.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because like a lot of people tend to forget the Eagles had that same situation years ago where it came to Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. They had that same situation. Like, but don't get me wrong, Foles did take them and won their Super Bowl, but who cares? They're a trash organization. Who cares? But
Zigama.
Sagama Beach.
Eagles fans in general are saying, Foles actually won us the Super Bowl. We should get rid of Carson and whatever. But they know, obviously, kind of got rid of both of them, but it doesn't matter anymore. But the fact is, it's like nothing's a guarantee. Like, and from terms of the quarterback position, it's like, yeah, Cooper Rush has won you 4 games, but look at the teams that we've played against. One's the Giants, who are absolutely god awful. How they're 3-1, I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The Bengals, I mean, yeah,
but he didn't win that game. That was
the defense won that game because Lyle Collins was absolutely god awful for the Bengals, and same with the rookie Cordell Folson, the left guard for the Bengals. He had a terrible time dealing with the interiors. So, and Joe Burrow just was so ineffective in that game. But the only game you can really kind of say, like, obviously, if you want any good reference points against a really good Tampa Bay, Rush didn't really do anything when he came in.
He fell off. He looked just as bad as Dak did.
Well, and the biggest thing is Rush right now is doing what a backup quarterback is supposed to be doing. He's keeping the ship on the right path. That's what he gets paid for.
He gets paid to
perfect. But so my only argument is that
start him.
Start him over. My only argument is that we need to shift some of the play calling for when Dak gets back and stop putting so much fucking
game plan for Dak Prescott. Don't expect Dak to come out here and throw 40 times.
Look,
play this game plan how you're playing for Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
it's simple. Simplify it.
It should be going back to basics. The less is more approach.
100%. Dak, his first couple years, his first year when he replaced Romo. Very, very simplified offense. Rely on your running game, roll out, and hit your second or third reads. Go back to doing that. That's what they're doing with Cooper Rush. Don't put Dak in there and expect him to throw 40 times and expect good outcome. Dak Prescott is not that quarterback.
Yeah, because everyone before that Pittsburgh game and that rookie season, people were still saying, the Cowboys this and Cowboys that. It wasn't until we beat Pittsburgh away from home at Heinz Field or whatever they call their
That
stadium
was one of
now.
the best games. That was one of the
Like
best games.
that was one of the redefining moments for the Cowboys that year. It was that win, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, Prescott's actually kind of for real." And same with Elliott, that 1-2 punch combination with quarterback and running back. So, but yeah, it's just like it still kind of feels like Dak's still being disregarded despite what he's done for the Cowboys for the past 5-6 seasons.
Yep.
Like he's probably he was one of the most underpaid quarterbacks to be a starter, being a 4th-round draft pick for 4 years. Then obviously it finally got his money, right? But yeah, he's still balling out. Like you said, like was it 37 touchdowns over 4,000 yards last season?
No one's ever done that for the Cowboys. Tony Romo, who I'm a huge Tony Romo fan.
We all
Big
love
Tony.
Tony. We
But
all love Tony.
Even Tony Romo never did that. So it's like, how are you discrediting this dude that came in and threw for 37 touchdowns last year? Like this is the issue. He had his 3 bad quarters at the start of the year against Tampa Bay. He got hurt. Now Cooper Rush comes in and rallies off 3 wins. The Cowboys fan base is very
Recency bias.
yeah, it's like, hey, this is what's happened recently. Last time I saw Dak Prescott, he sucked at quarterback. Oh, Cooper Rush is winning. This should be what we do. And there's just no fucking way. There's just no way Cooper Rush plays over Dak Prescott.
If there's any way we can summarize our fan base, it's Alzheimer's.
We're not laughing at Alzheimer's. We're laughing at the reference.
Yes.
It was perfect.
The Grid Network wants to know, just want to know what Dallas is paying you to say this.
I wish Dallas. I wish Dallas was paying me right now. And it goes, I know the Grid Network. I know who's behind this comment right now, and I know for a fact that he doesn't actually think Cooper Rush is the better player. I've been talking to him all week about this, and I know he's just saying the shit he does to get me.
He's trolling you.
He's trolling me.
Let's hear it.
I can't
Go
not
off, King. Go off.
I can't not take the bait. I just can't not take the bait.
Paul's pouring some Jack Daniels right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So Paul, Matthew and I on the couch, we can't see you, but we love the fact that you're pouring some Jack Daniels right now. That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely.
I need one too, AJ. Fire me over a Crackham, son.
I might as well do one more too, and then
Look at that. And then there it is.
So Paul,
Actually, I want to know from Paul.
Okay.
So every single game this year we're doing a Kraken player of the game, and that just means like out of anybody on today's game for the Cowboys, who do you think made the biggest impact to winning the game? Who was the person that gets that game ball? From your opinion, who do you think in your mind is the Kraken player of the game?
Donovan Wilson, 100%.
I thought the easy answer was Trayvon Diggs.
Wow.
no, we're huge.
I love that
We're huge
shit.
Wilson fans.
Okay, go off.
Look, like,
Wilson,
honestly,
man.
he was everywhere throughout the game, from coverage to being in the run defense, everywhere. Like, it would not surprise me. In fact, I think the stats. Yeah, he scored the most tackles tonight with 9 total tackles with 8 solo.
Wow.
Dude, I
Eight
love me some
solo.
Donovan.
And here's the
8
other one.
solo.
8 solo, and right behind him was Malik Hooker with 5 solo.
Like I was saying to the guys during the game, when was the last time that we felt super confident in our safeties?
Oh yeah, exactly.
A long time.
Long time, man.
Long time.
It's been a long time, and it's like, and the crazy thing is, we're even gonna get more depth. Like, what happens when J-Ron's back healthy? Like,
Yep.
It's one of these tricky things now. Donovan Wilson's playing so goddamn good. Like, how do you take him off the field to put J-Ron back in? It's just very
Here's
tricky.
there you go. You've got it on your stat. Look, McQuamu is there at number 4. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
Our best tacklers, like you said, our top 3 of the 4 tacklers are safeties. That's crazy. That is actually insane. And it actually makes me kind of want to see Jabril Cox in there as a linebacker. I want to see him get a chance to make some tackles, because I did find our linebackers were very subpar at the run game today. I felt like we were we weren't attacking the line of scrimmage. It felt like we were kind of letting the run play develop and then trying to make the tackle, instead of trying to find your gap, fill your gap, make the tackle, which was what the safeties were doing.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Well,
I don't know if
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, is that the stats from Google or is that from ESPN? Because I've got the ESPN ones up. And
Yeah, this is just Google.
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah.
What do you got?
And I've got ESPN's up. So Trevon Diggs obviously he didn't record any tackles at all, but his only plays were just the flea, pass deflections, and the interception.
What did he have? 3 PBUs and 1 pick, or 2 and
3 PDs and was it 1 interception?
Yeah, he had the pick. That's big.
He held McLaurin to, I think, 2 catches for
15 yards.
15
Oh yeah, he shot him out big time in this game for sure.
Are we past the point that we can stop? Like, I hope the NFL can get past this weird fucking stat that got created last year of how many yards a cornerback gives up. That stat to me is irrelevant. Like,
I haven't heard it.
You haven't heard it at all this year.
See, Greg Olsen made a really great point. He's a cornerback is playing like a wide receiver, so he's obviously
and said that today too on that interception.
Like he's actually trying to follow the routes and stuff like that. Like he's not trying to shut them out or anything. Like he's actually trying to follow them about and try and make the more impact plays and get ahead of the guy. Like try and catch it or be the pass deflection. So, if anything, like who cares if he's giving up the yards as long as that's not putting any points on the board. That's what matters.
Don't give. I could give 2 fucks if the guy. They said I think it ended up being about 700 and something yards he gave up last year.
So Anthony, you were saying earlier in the game too, all the big runs were up his side.
They do on their big runs, and I think that's why they switched Micah over to the right side in the second half. They do target their power runs to Diggs' side, and they have been bringing either a tight end or a tackle or a guard pulling to his side to get on him. But you can scheme that out, right? Like if you're in a running situation, you can scheme that part of the game out. But a lot of the big runs that the Cowboys have had against them have been over to Diggs' side. But the guy, like you said, he's pretty much, he's not there to make tackles. How many corners in the league are you going to expect to make tackles? Maybe Jalen Ramsey's like one of the only corners that I'm like, okay, like he could match up with a running back or a tight end and make a tackle. Trevon Diggs isn't there to make tackles. He's there to shut Terry McLaurin down to 2 catches for 15 yards.
And here's the thing about Jalen Ramsey. He's kind of been known to kind of like, but even during that Super Bowl against the Bengals, he was pretty much like a sitting duck at point at certain points. He was actually getting absolutely roasted, like really badly played out.
Oh, definitely.
So this whole narrative about Jalen Ramsey is ranked higher than Trevon Diggs. I'm sorry, but they must be high on what God knows what right now. I'm sorry, but
the devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
Whatever AJ's smoking on over there.
They're vape 10.
Weed every day.
The wacky backy.
They're vape 10. Those guys.
Those guys are vape 10. Yeah, no. To me, I made a post on the Instagram at Cowboys Can Fan not too long ago, and it was just an empty room, and it was titled "The Guys I Would Trade Trevon Diggs For." And right now, to me, there's not a corner in the league that I would trade Trevon Diggs for. I said this last year.
I'm saying
people thought I was fucking insane.
No shot.
If there's one player I would actually trade for, is actually reincarnate Deion Sanders, and that's it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And it might seem over the top, but there's literally in the NFL right now for the upside that I feel like Trevon Diggs has, his ball skills and his pass breaking up skills. I don't think there's a player in the NFL right now that I would trade. Sorry, not player. Cornerback in the NFL that I would trade Trevon Diggs for. To me, there isn't. And someone could argue me any points. My personal opinion, I'm not trading Trevon Diggs for any other fucking corner. Not a chance.
If you had to, and so here's a question. And this could go to you, Anth, and Matt, if you want.
Oh, I'll spit it out. Give me a question.
Paul,
put me on the hot seat.
If you had to trade Diggs for some player or position, what would you trade? A player like what would you trade? Not a player like Trevon Diggs. Who would you trade Trevon Diggs for?
Like any player in the NFL.
Any
player in the NFL. Aaron Donald. That's the only guy I'm trading.
Yeah, probably Aaron Donald.
That's the only, to me, what Trevon Diggs brings.
But you only get maybe 1 year of Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
or maybe who the player we should have picked in the draft is TJ Watt.
Yeah,
possibly.
TJ Watt, man. Yep. But you know what? I've always thought about. I go back to this very often. Us missing on TJ. Well, not even missing on TJ Watt. Just deciding not to draft him. If we take TJ Watt, maybe we never get Micah. You know, you already have that position kind of filled. Yeah. So I think it kind of maybe worked out in a way, but like TJ Watt, that taking Taco Charlton over TJ Watt is probably one of the worst. What are you doing over there?
I'm stretching my neck, bro.
I love it because it is literally.
I actually thought you were falling asleep, man.
Hey, Paul, it is 2:30 here. It's 2:30
PM.
Yeah.
2:30 p.m.
No,
After this, I have to go. I have to go pick up eggs and go make dinner with my wife. Like it's not like we're not at a like
2:30
9
p.m.
or anything. We're in the middle of the day.
We're in the middle of the day. So we're gonna get Paul's last. I want to hear Paul's last wrap up thoughts on the game. I want to hear your guys' last wraps up thoughts on the game, and we're gonna wrap this bitch up.
Yeah, I'm happy with our defense, how they played. Obviously we've got a lot of addressing to do with the O-line and with the run game, and yeah, because we're going to be up against one of the best run defenses in the league next week.
Do you want Dak next week or?
If the doctors say he's 100% good to go, then yes, but I would prefer. I don't see that being happening. So yeah, like. I'm happy with Cooper Rush going in, but I would love to see that being there, but I'd rather make sure he's 100%.
I hate to say that we can lose next week and still have a very good shot of making playoffs because you never want to lose a game. But I do think, like, obviously the most sensible thing to say is that, like, play Cooper Rush, roll out with the team you're winning with, let Dak sit back for another week, get healthy, make sure he's 100% good to go. But I'm just not that guy. Put Dak in. I've never been someone that makes a sensible decision. Get Dacky boy in there and let him sling with that thing.
God, Adam, you're turning into James Wood right now.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm just walking around with the double needles. Who can I shoot up with these?
No, he's Coach Bud Kilmer asking him get that shot in that hand.
Hey, before anyone else gets their thing, crack
him,
him.
we got him.
Hell,
I don't have a can, but I've got my bourbon.
Yeah, but
and
you got
Coke
your
here.
bourbon. Vink,
Pour him if you can.
pour him if you got him. Vink, give us your lasting impression of today's game and your final thoughts.
Dude, I'm excited. Honestly, Cowboys being 3-1, I'm becoming a big time bandwagon fan.
Bandwagon boy 3.
Number 3.
Bandwagon boy 3.
There we go.
Okay, AJ or Adam? I'm scared to ask AJ.
Oh,
so
man.
Adam, let's hear what you say.
Well, I'm completely fine. I'm agreeing with Paul. I'm completely fine with Cooper Rush going into the game against the Rams. I'd actually prefer Dak to not be in that game just to make sure that he does come back
They suck.
super healthy.
I kind of side with Adam, honestly. I feel like you got one in the bag with Bengals.
You got a freebie.
And you might be able to win the Rams game with Cooper Rush.
Why risk the rest of your season?
And I think that owner, president, GM, head coach Jerry Jones is going to say the same thing. Well, let's see what the Gingers got. Throw them out there against the Super Bowl team.
Hey, Gingers have souls.
Gingers have souls. He showed it today.
Let's see if we can get that win. Let's see if we get that George W with Cooper Kupp, aka Cooper Rush, in the helm.
Yeah, did you hear that? Did you hear that they called Cooper Rush Cooper Kupp at the broadcast today, Paul?
Oh God, really?
Well, you got Cooper Kupp playing against Cooper Kupp today.
Yeah, what did they say? Greg Olsen was like, "Oh, the offensive line's blocking really good for Cooper Kupp." It's like, what? Did we just hear that right?
Did we just hear that right?
And pass protection, they were okay. I mean, I'll need to check up the stats for the QB pressures and stuff like that. But I mean, there was no sacks on Cooper Rush, so I guess that is a positive. But it's more on the run offense. I'm more concerned about.
That's a crazy stat because I think this is a couple times we've went without being sacked, which is
that's 3
huge.
games in a row. Three games in a row.
That's
and
fucking massive.
and
Tough.
And here's a really interesting stat. My colleague Tom Ryle mentioned this on Blogging the Boys. I think it was since 1973 we've actually went 4 games in a row under 20 points.
Wow.
Something like that. It's some crazy statistic like that.
Well, that is it. It's a
great stat.
It's a crazy statistic in today's NFL when it's like I said to the guys,
especially with the game are being evolving like this.
Man,
you know?
it's insane. To hold a team to 10 points is
very,
very, very hard to do.
Yep.
AJ, I'm scared to ask you, but let's hear your closing points here.
I agree with everyone, man. Let's go, Cowboy.
Looking tough.
Looking tough. I will say my closing statement here is going to be.
Hey, before you go to your closing statement, we have boots on the ground. Eric Serrato saying, "Hey, if Dak says he can play, then let's go with that."
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can go with yours.
I'm pretty sure Tua said he could play.
Of course.
Oh, so now you're recounting. Now you're taking away your Dak plays. You're fucking stupid if Dak can't play.
I've never
Here's
said
the thing.
I never said that. I said if you think Cooper Rush is the better option at quarterback than Dak Prescott, yes, you are stupid.
Truth.
That's what I said. If the doctors say he's not ready, then he's not ready.
And of course, every player who wants to be on the team wants to be on the field regardless. They'll have that. They've got that crazy mentality. It's like, I'll go in with a broken arm. I'll go in with a broken leg. Just put me in, coach.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
But as much as we do want to say, like, Cooper Rush looked really good today. He threw good balls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, maybe not so much.
He did what he had to do to win the football game. I wouldn't say he looked good.
He didn't look bad.
He didn't look bad. He didn't lose the game. He didn't throw interceptions. But it's not like I'm like,
He had
oh my
those
God.
throws where
He almost-
he's on his back foot, which when you see, the greats,
Can I put it?
they plant their feet, they throw the ball.
This is a way that any Cowboys fan can relate. When Dak Prescott came in 2016 and was winning football games, I was even like, oh my God, we have to start Dak over Tony Romo when Tony Romo gets back.
Yeah.
He had it. Like he was making throws. He was making the right decisions. He looked mobile. I don't get that same feeling when I watch Cooper Rush. I'm watching Cooper Rush. I'm like, okay, he's playing well. He's doing what a backup should do. I never had that when Dak was playing. When Dak was playing, I'm like, holy fuck, we are lucky as shit. We've literally found our successor to Tony Romo. Right?
Yeah,
I'm not watching Cooper Rush and being like, oh man, yeah, let's get rid of Dak.
This is the guy, yeah.
Cooper Rush almost plays like he fucking does interviews. He's very like he there's nothing super exciting. He doesn't inflect.
He's very
Just
vanilla.
monotone.
Perfect.
He just does his jab.
Perfect backup, and to get the 3 wins with him is
Amazing.
it's a blessing. Yeah.
And if he has to play next week, fucking put him in.
Yeah. Like, I will say, though, that he was lucky in a couple of occasions where there was the pass deflection right on the end zone. Like, Fontes Sweat could have even catch that in the end zone.
Gosh, that was so bad.
We thought a pick six was coming up there.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but I nearly literally fucking shot myself. So
just do it. Once you do it once, it's not that big of a deal.
Hey,
Shit
Paul,
yourself.
we literally have someone here right now about to shit themselves. Zoom in on AJ's face. I do got to give, before we get out of here, I do got to give a shout out to CD Lamb. CD Lamb looked like an 88 today. He completely came. He showed up. He didn't have any drops. He looked focused. He had 97 yards, a touchdown. Like, CD Lamb looked the part today. Michael Gallup being that guy to help him out, that's huge. It's just massive. Paul, hey, we're gonna call this out. I appreciate having you on. I know it's probably like almost what is it, 10:30 now there in Glasgow.
Spot on. Yeah,
appreciate having you on, man. Matthew,
pleasure as always.
Love having you on, man.
It's so much fun.
Is Vink's
Vink's the good luck charm.
Vink
He has
has
to
to
come
be
next
here?
week. Next week.
I think I gotta come next week.
Yeah, he has to come next
The
week.
week after I'm in Hawaii for my honeymoon. But
hey.
But next week,
Tanya will understand.
So,
rebook
so
it.
next week is Thanksgiving though in Canada. So Matthew Vink, loved having you. Bandwagon boys, you're always a fucking charm. I like just looking at you two guys over there just makes me smile. So I'm gonna call us out here. Bandwagon boys, Matthew Vink and Paul from Glasgow. I'm at best.
Let's go.
Cowboys 3-1, baby. Cowboys 3-1. Who would have ever thunk it? Not me.
Hey,
Not me.
hey. Woo!